Warning, due to YouTube's content restrictions, you can see this video in full on our uncensorable Odyssey channel at video.freekeene.com.
Good morning, everyone. You can go ahead and be seated. We're on the record in the matter of State v. Shalon Spalding. We're here for a sentencing hearing. This hearing is docketed for approximately 30 minutes, so I'll give each party 15 minutes to address the court or present evidence as they wish. You don't have to use all of that time, but you're certainly entitled to it. We'll hear from the state first, and then I'll hear from Ms. Spalding and any evidence that she wishes to present.
And Your Honor, just as a preliminary matter, the state had received a motion to vacate judgment from Ms. Spalding. The state had filed an objection in turn. I'm not sure if the court has a ruling on that at this time.
The motion was denied. There's a written order that's going out to the parties, and it can also be collected in the clerk's office. So today all we're going to discuss is sentencing.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state will be brief in its presentation. The court has heard the evidence. I know the court is aware of the facts and evidence, which are essentially that the defendant left her minor child in the car for upwards of 45 minutes, potentially longer, but the evidence is approximately 45 minutes in a vehicle, unattended, with the engine running. I can tell the court that Ms. Spalding does have no prior criminal record based on what I'm able to see here, and so the only thing that the state can ask is the court balance the three factors that we have to look at every time we're here for sentencing, which are punishment, deterrence, and rehabilitation. The state is not asking for a stand-committed sentence. I think that's important to note at the outset. The only thing that the state is asking is for a deterrent sentence, which will be suspended for a period of time. Of course, Ms. Spalding has already exercised her right or intends to exercise her right to appeal, so this would come forward only after that process plays out. The state would recommend to the court that a period of 6 months in the House of Corrections all be suspended for a period of 2 years of good behavior, during which point the defendant would be subject to 10 parenting classes, all of which would be monitored by COMP. This might require a further order that the defendant provide certain information to COMP, like a phone number, address, a way to get in contact. And then beyond that, the state only believes that this is what's appropriate in the case. The parenting classes are necessary to ensure that Ms. Spalding learns that this behavior was not appropriate or correct. As the court has learned from further pleadings, the defendant still believes that what she did on that day and time was appropriate behavior. And so the state would ask that the defendant be subjected to those parenting classes to learn just appropriate parenting styles. Nothing further from the state unless the court has any questions.
Is there a specific parenting program that you're asking for or a provider that you want?
I'm not asking for a particular provider.
All right. Ms. Spalding, I'll hear from you or from your lay counsel, because he's still entitled to represent you. So whichever one of you would like to address me.
So just to be clear, you're not going to hear anything on this motion to vacate judgment?
Neither party requested a hearing on it. It was denied on the merit, denied on the papers. There's a written order that you can pick up in the clerk's office.
So today, should have requested a hearing on
Today, all we're here to do is sentencing.
Well, we object to the motion to vacate judgment being denied, as we believe that there was many things that were not addressed properly here, and that were denied by the court. These are just simply reasons provided to you to vacate this judgment, as we believe this is a miscarriage of justice, essentially, an extreme waste of state resources and taxpayers' money. Even bringing these charges against Shalon, and Shalon is an excellent mother. The court was actually sent multiple letters from friends that were all sent back and denied. So they never got to you, obviously. And in support, we believe that this.
Can I pause you right there?
Yep.
If you wanted to present letters today as evidence in your sentencing, I'm happy to consider.
They were all mailed back. They were all sent to the court, and everyone was mailed back.
Right. So the way this works is only the parties can file into the case. But the same way that if you had a picture in trial you wanted to introduce into evidence, if you at sentencing you wanted to introduce supporting letters and you provided a copy to the state, I would be happy to receive them. So if you have copies of those letters with you today, and you want to present them as part of sentencing, I'm happy to receive them. I just want to make sure that's clear.
They were received at the court and they were returned, so we don't have them. They were sent from those parties directly.
Okay. I understand.
Could we continue so we can get you those? Because we're not lawyers.
I understand, but the same rules of procedure apply to people whether they're lawyers or not. We have already continued this proceeding today, so we're going to go forward. So anything further you'd like
Well,
to say
I
on
would just
that?
like to make a statement that, I'm a full-time
Go
mother.
ahead.
I didn't have my children until I was 41 and 43 years old. They're not something that just happened to me. I've planned to become a mother my whole life, and they are my world, and I would never do anything to knowingly harm or neglect my children. And that's part of this art.
In 2018, Free Keene teamed up with LBRY.com to back up our YouTube. Libraries already protected more than one video that YouTube took down. Now in 2021, our YouTube's been given a ridiculous strike for a 15-second promo from 2011 for harmful or dangerous content. Library doesn't have strikes or any way to take down videos. Our days are numbered on YouTube. Get the app at lbry.com or follow our channel on Library's new platform, Odyssey, at video.freekeene.com.